So hi, this is Josh McEwen here with Dufferin News, and today I'm joined by Councillor Todd Taylor, who is with the Orangeville Town Council. And thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Good morning, Josh. Good to be here.
Well,
Nice to be on your program. Congratulations on it.
So, in a follow up to our first segment of Dufferin Speaks, which was with Darren Davidson, who was former mayoral candidate for the town of Orangeville, where we discussed the Hansen Development that is taking place and the recent updates to it. Today we are joined by Councillor Todd Taylor of Orangeville, who was kind enough to provide us with his time to discuss development in general in town, along with his outlook on the town's future. This discussion will be clipped and available on our website, dufferin.news, so be sure to check it out. Now, to start off, I thought it was logical to begin with the Hansen Development and asking Councillor Taylor his position on it. Thank you, Councillor Taylor, for your time and for making this possible, and I hope you all enjoy this edition of Dufferin Speaks, which is brought to you by Dufferin News. Thank you so much, and have a great one.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't in support of the development as it ended up, and there's a ton of controversy about this development, and large groups of people who were weighing in. And at the end of the day, I mean, I imagine you want to get into the details, but at the end of the day, it just didn't sit well with me for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I know one of those concerns was around flooding and environmental concerns, which is a big one. And I mean, especially with so many people and such density, that definitely is a valid concern, I'd say.
Yeah, no, in fairness to town staff, I feel like I need to really be careful of what I'm saying. And why that is for your viewers is, I want to make sure I'm respectful of the process and respectful of town staff. I don't challenge town staff and their intellectual ability or their ability to do their jobs. I think we're fortunate to have who we have on staff doing what they're doing. So the other piece is if we go too far into discussions, this is the unfortunate piece of being an elected official now, is I feel that I represent the people. And I want to do what's best for the people and be damned with a lot of other things. My personal guidepost has been listening and following up. And I'm not suggesting that the other councillors don't do that, but that has been my number one credo, is engaging and understanding. But the reality is that developer has a right to develop there. They've made their mind up in terms of where they're going to go. A decision has been made by my fellow councillors, and I need to be careful in how I'm presenting myself, because I don't want to cause any litigation or unnecessary issues for the town. So we'll just pedal brake it as we go. Awesome. Your comment specifically, Josh, was around flooding. It's been brought up numerous times throughout the process. Town staff and the work that has been done has shown that there won't be flooding. And who am I to challenge that? At the end of the day, I'm just like you, other than the fact that I'm elected and get to have a say in these things. I'm not an engineer. I don't have the ability to dive into the data that they do. So the advice is that there won't be flooding. So I think we all need to admit that before we chat any further. But okay, the reality is where that development is, it's on top of a hill on Hansen Boulevard that runs down into First, and First Ave floods on a regular basis. Once you start to pave over an area, you will gain more water runoff. And intuitively to me, I worry about that. And again, we've been reassured that it won't be there. So I think people all need to know that. But I see massive concerns for that as we go forward. We haven't solved the flooding issue that we have now. And now this council has allowed that development to go through. And that's just one piece, right? And it wouldn't be the number one piece for me.